As it exists today, our educational system consists of two well-defined and specific roles, that of the student and that of the teacher. While attending the Thomas R. Watson Conference at the University of Louisville during the fall of 2008, we, a group of undergraduate students from Illinois State University, met some of the most qualified educators in the field of rhetoric and composition, and found out what they had to say about their students. We each had our own reactions to the topics discussed, and, using these as a framework, our goal is to examine and critique the student-teacher relationship. Out of everything we learned during the 3-day conference, the most important was to remember that teachers are learning with us, and that technology has blurred the once formal lines between the roles of student and teacher. Now, we would like to tell our side of the story. We entered the Thomas R. Watson Conference under the assumption that most professors were having difficulties with technology. We assumed that they weren't trying to engage with these technologies in their classrooms, or that they simply didn't understand how to work even the simplest of applications. What we found is that teachers are indeed engaging with technologies such as Facebook and MySpace, or blogging software in their classrooms, and what disturbed us the most was the way in which students were talked about. Rather than being spoken for, we seemed to be spoken of, and it was as if we were on the outside looking in. Though we formed the core of many conversations at the Watson Conference, we felt as though we weren't accurately represented. This feeling left us with one task: to respond to what we heard and make sure that our voices are being heard in the conversation regarding rhetoric and pedagogy.
I was really kind of resistant at first to using multimodality in the classroom, even though I felt pretty comfortable.
In my spare time, I use mostly the internet for checking my email, checking my Facebook, downloading music, mostly just for entertainment value.
Personally, my technology experience has been predominantly email and internet.
Yeah, you gotta check the Facebook, gotta check the emails. Teachers regularly email me, so gotta keep updated.
Unless I'm using it to do homework for my classes.
Find the teachers to use Blackboard and WebCT for assignments to be useful, because no handwritten work, don't have to turn anything in the next day, so it helps out a lot.
So I think not being as technologically savvy as someone else, it's interesting to get into the field where these classrooms are based on multimodal technology.
In short, they are texts created or intended for digital environments or audiences that often juxtapose or arrange one mode with another in aesthetically pleasing and rhetorically purposeful ways. My interest in assessment and new media began through the back door. I attended a digital media and composition summer institute at Ohio State in 2006, led by Cynthia Self and Scott DeWitt. While all the work with digital production was challenging and fun and fascinating, I wondered how my students would assess my attempts to produce technology, use technology, or integrate technology into the classroom upon my return. As a non-tenured, tenure-track faculty member, I share the anxieties contingent faculty and other non-tenured faculty experience when faced with student evaluations that affect our job security.
Sometimes it's a little difficult though, you might forget about it because you don't get updated as much with the Blackboard and WebCT. You gotta kind of check it every day to make sure you have something to do.
I think I've never used like Movie Maker or blog posts. These are all things that are new to me.
Yeah, for the most part, we always view teachers as being like really, cavemen-ish.
In fact, in our student newspaper, The Sentinel, there was a quote by one student who said, "I hate to watch my teachers fumbling with technology."
And I think that's where the teacher aspect comes in. I think a teacher needs to be well versed in this stuff to be able to transfer that information to their students.
Her teacher is the one helping her through learning this new program. And then now that I've come to ICU, there's a lot more email going between the professor and I, which is helpful. And there's also Blackboard, which is good because you don't have to remember to bring your notebook with your homework assignment in it. You just do it from your computer at home and it's done.
But I think a younger student from a computer era might not look at the text first, might look at very different things, might focus on music
lot of teachers have been doing that. Like for my chemistry class, we take quizzes online, and we do a lot of learning online for a lot of my classes.
It's just a whole different, I think, new medium that like is just is going to be explored more and more as time goes on. So.
With regard to the ever-closing gap between educators and their students, we believe that the student-teacher relationship is set to undergo major changes. This evolution, born of changing classroom dynamics, is spurred by the increased usage of technology and can be both a positive and a negative experience. It is positive in the sense that students now have unprecedented access to scholarly works and are now able to more fully understand and integrate the subject matter being taught to them. However, it is negative in the sense that now, more than ever, our educators are learning side by side with their students. Often, this learning is born of necessity, and students are sometimes better able to operate or incorporate classroom technologies. This changing scenario means that no longer is the teacher simply equipped with every piece of knowledge and skill required of them, and no longer is the student simply a passive observer within their classroom. Now, learning and teaching occur at both ends of the spectrum. The future presents many obstacles for both students and their teachers. The rapid advancement of technology has blurred the lines that once separated teacher and student, and this line will only continue to become less distinct as time goes on. So how will students and teachers react to a completely different world of education? Only time will tell.